If you look at the history of skincare, we have done some pretty strange things for beauty.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we've used lead, we've used arsenic. So when I see the internet deciding that rubbing a raw potato on your face is the new miracle cure
Right.
for acne and dark spots, I'm just not sure if we've evolved or if we're just, going back to the dark ages.
It's definitely a cycle, and the potato hack is fascinating because it's right on that razor's edge between an old wives' tale and... Wait, is there actually some chemistry here?
That is exactly what we need to figure out today. Is this genius, or is it just making a salad on your
A
chin?
salad on your face, yeah.
We've got a document in front of us. It's called The Science of the Potato, Deconstructing the Skincare Hype. And I have to say, this is not a beauty blog.
No.
This reads like a serious dermatological analysis of Solanum tuberosum.
It is. And our mission for this deep dive is to go through that document page by page. We're going to separate the, let's call it kitchen logic.
It's natural, so it must be good for you.
Exactly that. Separate that from the clinical reality. Because as you can see, those are two very different things.
Okay, so let's start with the promise, because people aren't doing this for no reason. Page 2 of the analysis points out this isn't just a TikTok trend. People have actually tried to, patent this. There's a patent cited here from 2015.
Yes. Patent CN10531-09598, filed specifically for a skin-whitening potato mask.
Okay, I'm looking at the composition breakdown here in the patent. It's got 45 to 55% potato, which, makes sense. But then it adds tomato, milk, oatmeal, and lemon juice.
It reads like a grocery list, doesn't it?
It really does. It sounds like a smoothie I would immediately regret making.
Yeah.
But the claims on this are so aggressive. They're not just saying it moisturizes. They are claiming whitening, stain fading, and, quote, melanin removal without chemical additives.
Wow.
That is a massive physiological claim for a root vegetable.
It is, but this is where we have to look at the why. Why did they think this would work? If you turn to page 3, the document breaks down the potato's nutritional profile.
Nature's chemistry set.
Exactly. And from a pure chemistry standpoint, they're not totally wrong.
So if we put a potato under a microscope, what are the active compounds that would make a dermatologist even, raise an eyebrow?
There are a few heavy hitters. First, you've got ascorbic acid. That's vitamin C.
Okay, the gold standard for brightening, the stuff we pay $80 for in a tiny bottle.
Exactly. Then you have vitamin B6, which helps with cellular repair. You have potassium, which regulates hydration. And here's a big one, azelaic acid.
Oh, I've heard of that. I see it prescribed for rosacea and acne all the time. For redness, I had no idea. It was just in potatoes.
It is, and it has some serious anti-inflammatory properties. And then finally, you have the starch itself.
Right.
In nutrition, starch is the enemy, right? Carbs. But on your skin, starch acts as a humectant.
Humectant. That word gets thrown around all the time in marketing. Can you break that down for us?
Sure. A humectant is just a moisture magnet. It's a substance that attracts water molecules from the air and holds them against the skin.
So the starch keeps you hydrated by, binding that moisture to your face.
You got it.
So, okay, this list, vitamin C, B6, azelaic acid, humectants, it sounds like a miracle serum.
It does.
I can see why the patent exists now. If I saw those ingredients on a label at Sephora, I'd probably buy it. It sounds like the Holy Grail is hiding in my pantry.
And that is the trap. That is exactly how kitchen logic works. You see the ingredients, you assume the delivery mechanism works, but this is where the document shifts gears on page 4. It's time for the reality check.
Because there's a difference between eating a potato and wearing one.
A massive difference. The document calls this the absorption barrier. You have to remember, your skin, specifically that outer layer, the stratum corneum, it's a biological shield.
Right.
Its entire evolutionary purpose is to keep things out.
It's like a brick wall.
Precisely. And just because a potato slice has vitamin C in it, that doesn't mean the molecule can actually get through that wall. It's all bound up.
And even if it could, can it penetrate that wall just by, rubbing it on your face?
Well, a document is pretty blunt here. The section is called Hard Truths.
I'm reading it now. Currently, no scientific evidence supporting the lightening of acne scars via raw application. And no human studies supporting the rubbing method.
It's just folklore. You might get some surface hydration from the water, maybe a cooling sensation, but you're not getting that deep melanin removal that the patent promised.
Okay, so it might be ineffective, But the counter-argument is always, well, what's the harm? It's just a potato.
I wish that were true.
Oh.
If we flip to page 5, we run into the pH problem.
Yeah.
And this is where that patent recipe, the one with the lemon juice, stops being useless and starts being actively dangerous.
Okay, there's a pH scale visualization here. For context, 7 is neutral, right? Like water.
Correct.
So where does our skin like to be?
Healthy skin is in the optimal zone, which is slightly acidic, between 4.5 and 5.5. We call this the acid mantle.
The acid mantle.
It's a thin, protective film, keeps bacteria out, moisture in.
Okay, so we want to stay around a 5. Now, looking at this chart, where is lemon juice on the scale?
It's way down at pH 2. Highly acidic.
That's a logarithmic scale. That's a huge difference.
It's massive. If you put a pH 2 liquid on your face, you're just destroying that acid mantle. You're asking for chemical burns.
Wow.
And with citrus specifically, you risk something called phytophotodermatitis.
That's a mouthful.
It means plant-late skin inflammation. If you put lemon juice on your skin and then go in the sun, it can cause a toxic reaction, blister, and severe hyperpigmentation.
So you're trying to fade a dark spot and you end up branding yourself.
Ironically, yes. You create a worse one.
Okay, so lemon is on the red list. What about the other end? I see baking soda is listed at pH 9.
Also a disaster. Alkaline substances strip the lipid barrier, the mortar between your skin cells. It leads to raw, dry, super irritated skin.
So the document is basically saying, stop playing chemist in your kitchen if you don't understand pH.
Pretty much. And there's one more on the red list that surprised me. Toothpaste.
Oh, I remember that from high school. The drying out a zit trick.
It's a bad idea. The flavorings, like cinnamon and mint, are known contact irritants. You're trading a pimple for a patch of dermatitis.
Right. Okay, so we've debunked the additives. But what about the potato itself? Surely the potato is hypoallergenic. It's like the blandest food on earth.
Usually. But page 6 throws us a curveball called the allergen factor, specifically something called latex fruit syndrome.
Latex, as in surgical gloves.
Yeah. This is a fascinating piece of biology. It turns out the protein structure in natural rubber latex is almost identical to a protein in potatoes called patatin.
Patatin.
Right. So if your body is allergic to latex, your immune system sees that potato protein, gets confused, and thinks, hey, that's latex.
And it attacks.
It attacks. It's called cross-reactivity.
That is wild. So you could have no idea about this, try a natural face mask, and end up with hives.
Or a runny nose, itchy eyes. The document notes that people with latex allergies can also react to tomatoes, carrots, and apples. It's something you have to be aware of.
Okay, I feel like we've been pretty hard on the potatoes so far. We've said the raw vitamins don't absorb, the additives can burn you, and the protein might trigger an allergic reaction. Is there any good news?
Don't lose hope just yet. Page 7 is called Redemption in the Lab.
Okay, good. Bring on the science.
So we're leaving the kitchen now and entering a proper lab. The document highlights a 2022 study. And they didn't use a raw slice of potato.
What did they use?
They created a yellow potato tuber water extract.
So like a concentrate.
Exactly. They extracted the bioactive compounds and put them into a real delivery system, a hydrogel eye mask base.
So they built a vehicle to actually get the vitamins into the skin.
Precisely. And they ran a controlled trial for 4 weeks, testing different concentrations, 0.25%, 0.5%, and 1%.
And the results. Because looking at page 8 here, these charts are surprisingly good.
They are statistically significant. Let's just look at the 1% extract group. After 4 weeks, moisture levels went up by 27%.
It says here that move the skin from the dehydration category to normal. That's a real physiological change.
And look at the pore size, a 35.8% reduction.
That's the holy grail. Everyone wants smaller pores. And wait, look at the wrinkle reduction, 37.6%. That's rivaling retinol.
It is impressive. But here's the key takeaway, and the document bolds this. The 1% concentration significantly outperformed the lower doses.
So the concentration drives the efficacy.
It's everything. You need a specific amount delivered in a specific way to get the result.
So a raw potato slice, which is mostly just water, fiber, is probably acting like that 0.25% version, just too dilute to matter.
Exactly. The raw slice is the homeopathic version. The hydrogel is the clinical dose.
Okay, let's talk about how it worked. Page 9 decodes the bioactivity. We mentioned the starch earlier.
Right. As a humectant, imagine the starch forming this microscopic, breathable film on your skin. It physically holds water against the top layer. That plumps up the skin cells, which is why the wrinkles look better. Hydrated skin just looks smoother.
And what about the antioxidants? the vitamin C?
They were scavenging ROS reactive oxygen species. Those are the free radicals from pollution and UV light that damage your DNA. The extract was neutralizing them.
So it was protecting and repairing at the same time.
Correct.
Now, there's one myth we skipped, and I really want to hit it because it's everywhere on the internet. The bleaching enzyme. Page 10 talks about something called catecholase.
Ah, yes. The theory that catecholase bleaches skin. This is a classic case of bad internet science.
Okay, walk us through it. Why do people think this enzyme turns your skin white?
So, you know how if you cut a potato and leave it out, it turns brown?
It oxidizes, yeah.
The enzyme that causes that browning is catecholase. Now, in skincare, there are ingredients like kojic acid that are famous for whitening skin. Kojic acid works by inhibiting pigment-related enzymes.
So people heard enzyme and pigment and just got it all mixed up.
They got it completely backwards. They think because catecholase is involved with pigment, it removes pigment. But it doesn't. In the potato, it actually creates the brown pigment.
So rubbing an oxidizing enzyme on your face.
It will not bleach your skin. The whitening they saw in the study wasn't bleaching at all. It was just redness reduction from the anti-inflammatories and the brightness you get from being super hydrated.
That's such a vital distinction. You're not erasing melanin. You're just calming the skin down so it looks clearer.
Exactly right.
All right, we're nearing the end. We've talked about the high-tech hydrogel, but I know some of you are still going to try this at home. So page 11 has a modernized protocol. If you must DIY this, how do you do it safely?
The document calls this the safe DIY. First rule, the base. Use an organic potato, grated or juiced, but there's a huge warning here in bold. Discard green potatoes.
Oh, right. The green means solanine.
Yes. Solanine is a neurotoxin. It's the plant's defense against pests. You do not want that on your skin. If the potato is green, throw it out.
Got it. No green potatoes. What about mixers, since lemon and baking soda are banned?
Stick to gentle ingredients. Honey is excellent. It's antibacterial and a humectant.
Okay.
Yogurt has lactic acid, which is a very gentle exfoliant, much safer than lemon. Or just plain oatmeal, which is super soothing.
A potato, honey, and yogurt mask. That actually sounds edible.
It basically is.
Matt?
But because it's edible, bacteria love it.
Yeah.
So the Never list says, do not store it. This is single use only.
No leftovers for your face.
No. Make it fresh, use it once. And before you flather it on, page 12 insists on the 48-hour rule.
The patch test. The thing everyone knows they should do, but nobody ever does.
You have to do it, especially with that latex fruit connection we talked about.
And why 48 hours? Why not just 10 minutes?
Because allergic contact dermatitis is a delayed reaction. It can take 2 full days to show up. You put a tiny amount behind your ear, wait 15 minutes, wash it off, and then you wait.
And if it's red or itchy 2 days later, that's a no-go.
Exactly. Better a red spot behind your ear than a swollen face for a week.
Words to live by. Okay, let's wrap this up with the final showdown on page 13. It's comparing the raw application versus the hydrogel extract.
It really is expectation versus reality.
It is. So the raw DIY.
Yeah.
Pros, it's cheap, it's accessible. Cons, unpredictable pH, bacteria risk, solanine risk, and just very low absorption.
Right. And then you have the hydrogel from the study.
The pros, stable pH of 5.4 perfect foreskin, a verified 1% concentration, and measurable results
Excellent.
like a 37% wrinkle reduction. The con.
Let me guess. You can't make it in your kitchen.
You can't make it in your kitchen. It requires a whole formulation and extraction process.
Right.
So if we look at the final takeaways on page 14, what's the verdict on the potato protocol?
Number 1, potatoes are bioactive. The potential is real. We shouldn't dismiss them. But number 2, formulation matters. The magic isn't in the raw potato. It's in the extraction and the delivery system. The vehicle is as important as the passenger.
Which leads to takeaway 3. Respect the chemistry.
Protect your acid mantle. No lemons, no baking soda. And finally, patience. The results in that study took 4 weeks. Skincare is a marathon, not a sprint.
You know, this deep dive really changed how I look at my pantry. It's not just food. It's unrefined chemicals.
That's exactly what it is.
It just makes you wonder, if the potato has all this hidden potential, what else is sitting in our cupboards? Are onions the next big anti-aging miracle? Is there a garlic serum in our future?
I think let's wait for the clinical trials on that one.
Deal. But until then, please, if you're going to treat your face like a salad bowl, at least understand the chemistry so you don't get burned. Science validates the ingredient, but not always the hack. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
Stay curious and stay safe.